Alright guys, welcome to a new video on the channel. So today I want to talk about Viktor and his items, and in general I want to talk about gold values. This is going to be more like an analytical video, something very different from what I usually do. But I think it's really important to also cover this topic so you guys can understand what's going on and some like why people do this and why people do that. So for Viktor there are well different ways to play him, and he's my new main right now. I really like him. He's really fun to play. Um, and then I was like, yeah, we need Ludens. I said right. Because otherwise, in earlier season, in old season, you had the hack course, and then you had to go with them. But now you have your passive, and then you can just rush your Ludens and your boots, and then you're really strong, right? No, not exactly. Um, what I do on Victor is I start corrupting potion. I don't know if that's what usually people do. I don't know if they start darkseal or Doran's ring or something. I start corrupting um, because of gold value. And the term gold value, you're gonna hear it a lot in this video. So you see corrupting potion, it restores a total of 375 HP and 225 mana. Now the gold value is not here, not shown in this wiki here, but if we calculate that on to gold value on our own, um, then you see that sapphire crystal has a total gold value of 350 gold. Now, corrupting, as you can see, gives us 225 mana, so it's around 315 gold value. Um, Only for the mana part, though. For the HP part, we have ruby crystal, which gives us 150 HP, which you can't really see here. Here you can see it. It gives us 150 HP for 400 gold. So now we have to think, how much HP do we get? We get 375 HP. That's a lot. This is 1000 gold in gold value. So every time you use your corrupting potion to the fullest, which means you activate all three charges and you gain all the HP and the mana with it, you essentially, whenever you go back and restore that corrupting potion in your base, you're going to, yeah, give yourself, hypothetically speaking, give yourself around 1,300 gold every time you go back when you use this fully. Now, corrupting potion also has another effect, which is it deals damage while you do this over 3 seconds, 15 bonus magic damage, which is really insane. So this is the reason I go corrupting potion. This is really good in terms of gold value. And in the first backport, you notice I'm going darkseal and tier every game on Viktor. Now, there's a reason for that, and it's gold value once again. You see darkseal, it has the base stats are already over 100% gold value, but per every stack you have on your darkseal, you get 31% gold value more, which means at full stacks, darkseal has a gold value of 434% or gold efficiency. And this is like so fucking broken that you really should always go to this item. Now, why you shouldn't upgrade it to Magi most of the times is that Magi at full stacks is only a gold value of 238, and this is not really worth it. Like if you compare it to the 435 or 34% gold value or gold efficiency. Now that's the reason I go Darkseer, and you should do that as well. And now if you see the gold value from corrupting and Darkseer is already huge and fucking broken, right? Now comes Tier. Tier allows you to spam your abilities. Yes, you can purchase La Chapter. We get to that later. But Tier is also an item that I sell later on. I just use it in the time where you're like level 4 to level 11 or something. That you can spam your abilities. Like you get 600 mana more, which is, as you can see, a total gold value or gold efficiency of 210%, which is awfully broken if you know that you can just sell it for 70% of the value you purchased it, which means you only lose 120 gold, right? If you sell it. So now we can basically go back to Sapphire Crystal if we want to, and calculate how much gold or how much mana you need to generate with tier and use effectively, so it's worth. So and that's like a really low value. So you can't even think about it. It's really fucking worth going this. Now, there's other items that I'm going. For example, let me skip Iron Bits of Electricity. Let's go to Seekers and Verdant Barrier. You see, At fully stacks, it's only 104% gold value or only 103% gold value, which is not that great to be honest, but it gives you a lot of survivability to work around with. As Victor, you are usually not able to one-shot people until you have a lot of items. So you just tickle opponents, but this is what you have to do. You have to tickle opponents. And while you do this, you want to keep yourself healthy and stable in the game, which means you want to stay at your lane. Um, which means if you get, like, for example, two Syndra Qs and an E, she will kill you with the next combo. But when you have Word and Barrier, this is not going to happen. Same with AD matchups like Yazoo, for example, or Yona. Like, you can play against them, but without Seeker's Arm Guard, you're going to receive a lot of damage. So you rather want to have um, the 30 armor more to yeah, get less damage from them and just stay more at your lane. This is the reason why I go Seekers and Verdant Barrier on Viktor. And next item is obviously Iron City. Now you know that I'm going Cosmic Insight on Viktor all the time. I'm going Cookies Cosmic. Also Cookies. I don't even want to speak about the cookies. They're fucking bonkers broken. If you use them at 1 mana, you get like or 0 mana, you get like so much mana back. And that's why you should use your cookies. But I don't want to talk about cookies here. These boots have a total base stat efficiency of 112%. Um, Now, if you take into consideration that I also take Cosmic Insight, you know that my Flash has 230 seconds cooldown. Now, the normal heal for AD carries has 240 seconds cooldown, and AD carries usually don't go in Abyss of Ludicity or Cosmic Insight, which means you have your Flash up earlier than they have their heal up. And as a mid laner, that's really fucking broken. Also, TP is yeah, it's like Viktor is a late game champion, and TP, if used at the later stage of the game, has a really fucking reduced cooldown because of just how levels works, right? That's how TP works. Um, but when you have like Cosmic Insight, Ion Abyss of Ludicity, the gold value, the sheer gold value of Ion Abyss of Ludicity is really fucking broken. Now, that's the reason I take Ionic Validity, and also because you can spam your abilities with more ability haste. Um, yes, it's nice to have a sword, but it's not really better than Ionic Validity. You just want to poke the opponent and just be very annoying, because you're not going to one-shot people until very later in the game. Whereas this all doesn't make any sense anymore, and it doesn't matter. But you shouldn't buy Victor to one-shot people. You should buy him to annoy people, and that's how he's played, in my opinion. This is only my opinion, but I'm having huge success with it, so I'm just gonna tell you guys. And the last item, I mean, there you see last chapter here, but let's talk about it later. Oblivion Orb is also one of these items against Silas, against Mundo, against Vladimir. You purchase it against the champion where you need it, right? But if you look at the gold value, it only has 81% gold efficiency, which is not that great. But this doesn't take into consideration the Grievous Wounds, and now I don't want to get into details, but just for example, someone has Corrupting and Time Warp Tonic. You reduce his healing by 40% immediate, which means he just heals basically nothing from this, um, Time Warp Tonic and Corrupting thing. Now, champions like Vladimir, they just heal very, very much less, and the base healing also gets reduced. And now I'm playing with Scourge, and you see it. I'm poking people, I play with Scourge, I play with Corrupting. So if you play really well, and if you know your champion, and if you just know the game overall, then you can play around that Scourge cooldown, play around that Corrupting potion damage ticks, and basically your opponent has permanent Grievous Wounds if you do it right in fights. Um, and this is why like Oblivion Orb is also an item that should not be underestimated. Like if you see someone has like a chamber with high regeneration or just healing in general, or cookies cosmic, not cosmic cookies and time warp tonic and corrupting, then you can also go Oblivion Orb. It's not a bad choice of an item. Also, you buy it in more later and more relatively gold efficient if it comes to this. Now, last item, last chapter is obviously the one that you should buy, but the thing is, it has 120% gold efficiency, if we round it up. But you shouldn't buy it first. You totally shouldn't buy it first, just because of the mere stuff that I just told you earlier. Darkseal, Tear, and Corrupting. These items offer such great gold efficiencies that you should never skip them. And then you should like go for a defensive item if it's needed. If not needed, if like the enemy is super dumb, then you shouldn't do it. Then you can think about an Oblivion Orb, and if you don't need that either, you can go Lost Chapter into Ludens, into Cosmic, into Lich Bane, whatever you want to, right? I just want to talk about the early part, which is really important for Viktor because he's not an early game champion. But if you give him so much gold efficiency, he just turned to be one of the best early champions possible. And this is really scary. But yeah, guys, I just want to talk about that topic. Write in the comments if you like this kind of video. I want to do that a little bit earlier as well, but it wasn't the time for that. And now I just did it, and then yeah, I want to see some feedback if you liked it or not. And yeah, I would say see you until the next video. Bye bye, guys.